Hi and welcome to day 7 of our 7 days of yoga journey. And I even brought my glitter top to celebrate that you did it. It's fantastic and I'm super excited for you. So I've actually been hiding a secret from you. We have been preparing our body, creating strength in our shoulders, core, hip balance, to do a posture today, a balancing posture called Bakasana. So that is what we're going to focus on today. So let's start with the intention, right? Closing your eyes, both hands on your heart. So set an intention for this last day of this series. And with your intention in mind, take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale and release. One last time, inhale. And exhale, release. Good, blink your eyes open. Let's come down on our backs. We're gonna do a kind of a Bakasana version lying down. So getting into the shape that we're gonna do later on, balancing on our hands. So start here with big toes touching, knees pulling out, straight, strong arms. Inhale here and exhale. Start rolling up, active, strong core, pushing your knees in towards your arms and your arms out into your knees. So strong core here. Really lifting your shoulders off the mat, pushing up between your shoulder blades, tucking your chin. You should be shaking. Inhale and exhale, release. Just pausing briefly here. And then one more time. Big toes touching, knees out to the side, arms straight. Inhale. And exhale, active core rolling up, pushing your knees into your arms and arms into your knees. Strong active cores, strong active core, shake here, but still breathe in and out through your nose. And release, well done. I'm gonna rock back and forth and come into a seated position. And then into tabletop. So we're going to balancing on our hands, which can be quite tricky for the wrists. So let's warm them up a bit. So swaying back and forth. And then side to side. Shifting here, so fingertips in towards you. Maybe you stay here, or maybe tilting a bit back. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, coming back. And into a normal tabletop position. Let's do a few cat and cows. Inhale here, tailbone up, and vertebrae by vertebrae. And then lastly, gaze up. Exhale, tailbone in between your legs and rounding your spine, really pushing up between your shoulder blades. That is our focus in today's class here in this pose. Strong active hands pushing down. One more time, inhale here, tailbone up. Arching your back vertebrae by vertebrae, and lastly gaze up. And inhale, tail between your legs, squeeze your buttocks, rounding your spine, really pressing up between your shoulder blades, and gaze in lastly. Coming back to center. Strong active core, tucking your toes, lifting your knees off the floor. and pushing yourself back to downward facing dog. Let's walk here a bit, so pressing down one heel and then the other. And slowly, slowly come to the top of the mat. Feet pressing down into the ground, bending your knees. And let's roll slowly, slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Shoulders up against your ears and rolling back. Inhale, sweeping arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, folding forward from your hips with a strong, straight spine. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down, step back to high plank. Strong core here. Always knees down if you need to. Inhale here. And exhale, knee down if you need to. Coming all the way down to the floor. Inhale for cobra, active glutes, and exhale, tuck your toes, push yourself to high plank and downward facing dog. Strong active core from start. Inhale, sweeping up, right leg up. Exhale, bending your knee to nose. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, knee, right elbow. Inhale here. And exhale, twist and crunch. Strong core. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, slowly stepping to the outside of your mat. Swing a bit back and forth. And then come forward with your left foot as well. Coming into Malasana. Opening up your hips, preparing for Bakasana. Slow, steady breathing. Let's release our hands and come down to the floor. Now we're going to do a seated version of Bakasana. So same thing here. Big toes touching, knees out to the side. Straight, strong arms, knees pulling in towards your arms and arms pressing out towards your knees, rounding your back. Either you stay here or coming back on your sit bones, lifting your feet off the floor, rounding here. So really pressing up between your shoulder blades, strong core. Slow, steady breathing in and out through your nose. This should be hard, okay? Good, release. Hui. Hands behind you, beside you. Let's inhale, lifting up the hips. And exhale, coming down. From here, let's come into downward facing dog. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, sweeping left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding your spine. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, knee to left elbow, crunching here. Inhale, sweeping up. And exhale, twisting over to the right side. Hold here. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, walk forward. So placing your left foot on the outside of the mat. Swaying back and forth. And then stepping into Malasana. And we have reached the point where we're gonna try Bakasana. So if you want to grab a pillow and place it underneath your head, it can be a bit scary to try Bakasana if you haven't tried before, but we're doing this together, right? So either way, come up to your tippy toes. So we're gonna do it twice, and I'm gonna show you two different versions that you can try. So version number one, big toes touching, knees coming out to the side. Hands into the mat, about shoulder width apart. So don't try here to lift into Bakasana. It's gonna be too heavy. Don't lift your feet from that position. Instead, we want to think energy is moving forward. So on your tippy toes, coming forward, really pressing in your knees into your arms. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you lift one foot. And maybe you lift the other one. It doesn't matter. Just find a version that suits your body. Good. How did that feel? If that felt okay, then let's try version number 2, where instead of placing the knee on the outside of the arm, we're gonna place the knee somewhere back on the arm, above the elbow. Okay. So either you try version 2 or you just stay with version number 1. It's up to you. So same thing, big toes touching, coming up on high on your toes, spreading the knees, hands into the mat. So legs, knees, back on your arms, gaze forward, rounding your spine, pushing up between your shoulder blades. And let's lean forward. So gaze forward, maybe lift one knee up, and maybe you lift the other one. So stay here, gazes towards one tiny point, and then slowly coming down. And let's settle down in child's pose. So big toes touching, broaden between your knees, and walk forward. Forehead down against your mat, and just release everything. Just rest here. Become heavy in your hips. And no matter how the Bakasana pose looked like, be proud that you tried something. And maybe it was something that you have never tried before. Okay, let's come up. See the position. And down to the ground. So arms reaching forward. Strong, proud posture. Inhale here. And exhale, rolling back slowly. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Active core all the way down. We're gonna do a counter pose. We've been doing a lot of forward folds here. And now it's gonna be a bit of a back bend in bridge pose. So stepping in your feet, heels are touching your fingertips. Let's inhale here. And exhale, slowly, rounding, lifting your hips up. And when you have reached your highest position, then maybe walk in with your shoulders and interlacing your fingers. Pushing down your feet into the ground, strong active glutes. Slow, steady breathing. Release the grip. Walk out with your shoulders. Lift your heels off the floor. Inhale. And exhale, rounding down. Slowly. So tailbone, tail in between your legs. Knees into your chest. And maybe sway side to side. Stop in the middle. Feet down into the ground and roll over on your right side. Just pausing here for a brief moment. And then slowly pushing yourself up to a seated position. Eyes closed if it feels okay with you. Come to a cross-legged seated position. So imagine the thin invisible thread going through your pelvis, your spine, your head, pulling you up towards the sky. And I want you to keep this proud posture throughout this day. Placing both hands on your heart and coming back to the intention that you set in the beginning of this class. And with your intention in mind and a smile on your lips, take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale. One last time, inhaling, filling up with everything you need. And exhale and release. Thank you so much for joining this 7 days of yoga journey. I hope that you are proud of yourself. I am. Thank you so much. I'll see you.